everybody, this is Karen Fomafung, your Agile Evangelist, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be talking about estimation in sprint planning. So, there's been a lot of debate going on around whether Scrum teams should re-estimate unfinished work items. Should unfinished work items be re-estimated for the next sprint, for the upcoming sprint? That is a question, and that is a debate going on. So what do you think? So in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing my insight on my own opinion, and as usual, always very open to your thoughts, your feedback, your own contribution. Leverage the comment section to do that. So if this is your first time here, as always, you're so welcome. And just so you know, in this channel, we talk about project management, product development, specializing on Agile, Scrum, Kanban, and with a focus of helping our organizations, our teams, individuals deliver the highest quality value to their customers. If you are a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, you are so loved and you are so welcome. Thank you so much for your continuous and endless support and love. All right, now let's go straight into our topic. So, should user stories or work items be re-estimated for the upcoming sprint? Okay, so on this specific topic, whether unfinished work items should be re-estimated towards the upcoming sprint, there have been 2 points of debate going on in favor of this work item should be re-estimated toward the upcoming sprints. And the 2 points are, people are saying that they should be re-estimated because the work is partially completed. So re-estimation will give us more accurate data. And then the second point is that, again, why it should be re-estimated, justifying why it should be re-estimated. So they are saying that this work items, unfinished work items, should be re-estimated because it is necessary for us to be able to plan for the upcoming sprints. So those are the 2 points of in favor of the fact that these user stories or work items should be re-estimated. Unfinished work items should be re-estimated. Now, let us look into these points critically. For the very first point, that user stories or work items should be unfinished work items should be re-estimated because part of the work has been done, and re-estimating that user story, it will give us more accurate information since, again, part has been completed. Well, that I can hardly argue it, because truly we will just think about it logically. Re-estimating, we would think that it will give us more accurate information. Correct. And then for the second point on re-estimating the work item is necessary for us to be able to plan for the upcoming sprint. Well, in my opinion, I think it really depends on whether your team is following a velocity-driven sprint planning approach or whether they are following a capacity-driven sprint planning approach. You see, so if your team is following a velocity-driven sprint planning approach, okay, you would want to think that it makes sense that the unfinished work items should be re-estimated and factor out the portion or the pointing that has been completed. But come to think of it, if the portion that has been completed, factoring it out, the question you want to ask yourself is, doing this, would this, the remaining part that is going into the sprint, is it going to deliver value to our customers? What if the story is already in a way that can hardly be broken to get a part that can deliver value to the customers? You see, so it will be challenging. So in my opinion, I do not think that it is really worth it or necessary to re-estimate unfinished work. And for this to be possible, I strongly advocate for capacity-driven sprint planning approach, which means that if you have unfinished work items and then you are looking for accurate estimates, it's okay. Just pull in that entire user's unfinished user story into the next sprint. There is no need spending time re-estimating or re-story pointing that particular work item, just because you're looking to be more accurate, data driven. Bring all that entire work item into the sprint, and then you go by the average capacity. You go by the capacity. You see, go by the capacity, be driven by the capacity required to complete that work. So what I mean is, my approach should be, you people should continue filling up your sprint backlog based on the sprint goal. Fill up your sprint backlog, measure, keeping in mind the capacity required to achieve that goal versus the capacity available, which would be your team capacity available to complete that work. The capacity available to complete that work, is it equal, or does it make sense with respect to the capacity required to do that work? You see, so if you are capacity driven, there will be really no need to re-estimate the story points just because you're looking to get accurate information. You see, so I think I agree with you that re-estimating will help us achieve accurate information, data, or set more realistic goals. And then secondly, it is necessary for us to be able to even move forward with having an understanding on what we are doing. But now, where I disagree is wanting to re-estimate the story points. That is what I disagree. So what I would be re-estimating would be the capacity. That is what I will focus on re-estimating. So the story points, I will leave them as they are already. I'll bring the entire work into the sprints, including the part that has been completed. And then once we finish that entire user story, we close it, and then, we learn from it, and then we claim the credit at that point. So I would strongly suggest that you try capacity-driven planning as opposed to velocity-driven planning. So when it comes to the re-estimation of incomplete or partially completed work items for the next sprint. However, on the other hand, so before I address the other side of this conversation, I just want to quickly remind you that our level 2 program is still ongoing. For those who may not know, our level 2 program is that program that is designed to help people close that gap between just having a certification and a theoretical knowledge of the Agile and Scrum concept and landing that first job. You will agree with me that there are a lot of people out there with just certifications. So what people fail to understand is that just having a theoretical knowledge and a certification doesn't make you a Scrum Master. You see, so there is still a lot to uncover and a lot goes into it. So we have a fantastic program, which is what we call the level 2 program. It helps you, we build you up, mentor you to be able to close that gap between just having a certification and a theoretical understanding, and then understanding what it takes to be able to land that job. That's what we do. We work with you throughout the process to be able to achieve that goal. And then our next level 1 training, which is helping you understand the concept and go getting a certification, is upcoming on the 1st. So please, if you missed the January session, plan to partake, and change your life for good. Change the life of your family. Turn your financial life around. Turn your career life around. We would want to help you throughout this journey. So check the description box. Look right up there. You'll find our contact information. You can also go through the description box. Click on the link. It will take you to our website. Feel free to go through it, see our other programs, and then reach out to us if you have any question or concern, and we'll be so more than glad to help you get on board and start enjoying this beautiful Agile way of life. Thank you so much. Now let's analyze the other side of this conversation. There is also a situation where I would strongly suggest that the work items, the partially completed work items, should be re-estimated. So this is a situation where at the end of the sprint, you may realize that the partially completed work item was too big to fit into one sprint. You've already completed some portion, but the part that is left is still not even able to be completed in the upcoming sprint. It means that maybe you people did not really split the story really well in smaller chunks, because in Agile, we believe that the smaller the better. So you thinking that, okay, carrying this entire story into the next sprint, you may still not be able to finish the entire story in this next sprint, because that happens all the time. In that case, I would suggest that you split that story, you see. But make sure that you are not splitting because you're looking to re-estimate in order to factor out the velocity of the part that has been completed. The reason why you are splitting the story is because in the invest criteria, following the invest criteria and the S part of the invest criteria, you want your stories to be small enough to fit into just one sprint. But teams don't get that right all the time, especially teams that are still new or not very mature yet. They are still getting up to speed or improving in their maturity ladder. So they typically miss it from time to time. So if that is the case, yes, I suggest that you would want to split that story and only take the portion that you think will be completed in the upcoming sprint. You see, yeah, and then you still go by your capacity. Go by your capacity. So yeah, in summary, if the work item you are only looking to re-estimate it because you think that part has been completed, and you know that the part that is left can be completed in the upcoming sprints, there is no point wasting effort, wasting resources to re-estimate that work. Just bring the entire work into that sprint and then be capacity driven. Go by the capacity, leave the velocity alone and just go by the capacity. Only go by your average velocity, good enough. And then on the individual work items, go by the capacity. And then, so that is it. And then for a case where at the end of the sprint, you realize that the work item was not completed, and even in the upcoming sprints, considering that the priority is too high, in the upcoming sprint, it will still not be completed. Now you're looking at that work item, you're thinking, oh, based on what we've learned, based on what we've discovered during this sprint, we think that it may even require 2 to 3 sprints to complete this work item. So yeah, in that case, I wouldn't suggest people to, just pull in the work like that and go by capacity. No, in that case, I suggest that you split the story and only take the part that can be completed in that upcoming sprint. And then the part that is left that you're thinking, okay, it takes like 2 to 3 sprints, put it back into the product backlog. You see, put it back into product backlog. And that's it. You see, that's it. So that is my honest opinion. Again, I am also here to learn as I share my ideas so we all can continue to grow in this beautiful agile journey. So please feel free to use the comment section, share your opinions, share your thoughts, and let's just continue to exchange ideas. And again, if this is your first time here, please don't forget to turn on that subscription button and that notification bell so you will never ever miss out on any of our weekly upload. Again, I strongly suggest that if you're looking for a community where you can grow, where you would be supported to land that first job, where you can start your career as a Scrum Master, we offer all these services. So check the description box or look right up above, get our contact information, reach out to us, and we will be more than thrilled to walk with you through this beautiful agile journey. Thank you so much and have a great weekend. Bye.